So hi guys, and obviously what's up? Today I wanted to talk to you about the Wnba, but obviously before I do, I wanted to discuss obviously a few things with you. So as you obviously know, it's obviously bordering Christmas, and I oftentimes think it's obviously important that people need to release what weighs heavy on you, welcome what serves you, and protect your energy. And I think you obviously need to kind of trust in your journey and make sure you take enough rest where possible. And in doing so, obviously walk with grace, create freely, love deeply, and obviously transform, breathe, and rise and shine. That's my mantra for 2025. A couple of days ago, I actually came home, right? And I stood on my toes to lift an item out of the cupboard. And I tell you, I must have felt the most excruciating pain in my lower calf. And immediately, I just thought to myself, what is this pain? And then I obviously went on Google to obviously Google what the pain was. And it was saying to me that I was dehydrated. So when you're dehydrated and you don't drink enough fluids, you know your calf, your lower calf it just tightens up. And then it starts pulsating ridiculously. It's just like, it's not even a good thing at all. Anyway, I realized, right, after Googling, because my calf was pulsating like crazy, you could actually obviously see it, as it's obviously scared me a bit, because I was so dehydrated. So I know now that I need to be drinking loads of more fluids than I do drink, and so that obviously I can prevent myself from having cramps. I sound like an athlete, but but yeah. Anyway, I digress. You know what? It's funny, right? In saying that, I was in a car the other day and I was listening to the radio, and they were having a go at this particular player because apparently he was underperforming and everything else like that. And people have to understand, sometimes when your environment does not give you that inner spark to really thrive. So you guys know it's obviously bordering Christmas, and people are obviously buying loads of last minute gifts before the final countdown to Christmas. You have NFL players playing on Christmas Day. Well, you have two games running concurrently. You have the Kansas Chief facing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then you have the Baltimore against the Houston Texans, which is obviously going to be on Netflix. Now, Netflix captures all the good sporting events by far. Yeah, not by far, but lately it's captured most of the good sporting events. But it hasn't been without its glitches. Hopefully this time it obviously runs smoothly, because the last time they captured it, well, it was not great at all. Anyway, I digress. However, I'm more interested in who's obviously going to be doing the halftime performances. That is the only reason why I'm talking about this whole NFL thing, because apparently there will be two powerhouses performing on a night. So that would be great to see. And it's obviously available on Netflix. So Christmas is essentially a few days away, and according to Price Water Coopers, the estimated spend for this Christmas is expected to be 22.7 billion, marking a 5% increase in the UK, and in the US it is expected to be $973 billion. That's a lot, but I digress. Anyway, I went on to one of my favorite online store apps, which is obviously Zara. I love Zara. They are a kind of a modern fashion. They're a modern fast fashion company that keeps up with kind of current trends, but honestly, I think it's fair to say they are probably one of the best fast fashion brands in the business. In terms of, you're probably thinking, why are you saying it's the best fashion brand? I feel like it's best fashion brand in the business in terms of its capacity to deliver and distribute goods at a high turnaround speed. Because every other week when you go into store, you're getting a new line. Does that mean, if that makes sense, you're getting a new product line? I think it's fair to say Zara is the best in the business when it comes to turnaround fashion. However, you could never compare it. You could never compare Zara to the likes of Chanel or Louis Vuitton. I say this because the target audience, the target audience, the price point, the value proposition, the brand identity and perception, quality and craftsmanship is totally different or totally on another level compared to Zara. You can't really compare the two, but in terms of Zara's brand identity, is the best in the business in its kind of own league. So, for example, Chanel and Louis Vuitton do not cater to obviously a wider audience, but an affluent one. I feel that it's obviously aimed at exclusivity, social status, social capital, in comparison to the likes of Zara, whose products are advertised to a much broader scope of consumers. They're affluent and non-affluent and are able to give a quick turnaround on goods compared to that of the likes of, say, Chanel or Louis Vuitton, because their items tend to be more kind of strategic in terms of the product line they put out. They just don't just put out a product and then they turn it around straight away. Do you know what I mean? Now, you're probably thinking, what does this have to do with anything? Well, let me give you an analogy. The Wnba is a bit like Zara, even though it does not have like worldwide popularity due to it still being a fairly young company. It has potential to do really big things like the NBA, right? You got the LA Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. They're very much similar to that, I would say, of Chanel and Louis Vuitton. They have a kind of selection of premium players who put on a premium show. I think it would be unfair for me to compare Zara to the likes of Louis Vuitton. Despite providing retail fashion, it is fair to say that their target audience, price point and value proposition is very different to that of say Louis Vuitton or Chanel or any other luxury brand. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching. Peace out.